Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Renee Box Young. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, sharing, showing your support, commenting in the comment sections of the videos, tuning in to lives. Anybody who hasn't been tuning into lives, I invite you. It's a cordial invitation to check the lives out. We're having wonderful talks, wonderful discussions with my honorable guests. You know, LeVar Cooper, my sidekick right there, Bruce Goes. We're having Kurt Anderson jump in. You already know the historian, you know what I mean? Beautiful boxing talk, you know what I mean, with the community there, those who have been jumping in the lives. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Go ahead and feel free to subscribe if there are any new listeners, subscribers since day one, recent subscribers. I really appreciate each and every one of you for all your support. You guys are amazing, you know what I mean? And for the new listeners who are tuning in, Renee Box Young is a platform where we simply discuss, critique, analyze, and just talk about the sport of boxing in a level-headed, mature fashion. Take the hate and bias somewhere else, all right? And, you know, those who know the channel know what it's about here. So, you know, we don't do none of that hate and stuff. There's no room for that. There's no time for that either. So, hey, I just want to talk about this, man. Teofimo Lopez came out on Instagram recently talking about several things, okay? He talked about first, depending on the time that you listen to this, that he has some news coming out for those who call him a duck. I'm not calling him a duck, you know what I'm saying? I know that there's a lot of things to contemplate when it comes to fights and when it comes to fighters. You know what I mean? For example, you got Gary Russell coming out. He said that the Josh Warrington fight that Hearn offered Gary Russell $1 million, said it wasn't up to his standards. You got people saying that there are people making, you know, there are fighters out there making multi-millions and millions of dollars, you know, and that Gary Russell was right in saying that. And, you know, other people say, hey, you know, Gary Russell ain't doing nothing. I tend to lean towards the, my opinion on this, that, you know, Gary Russell's been really inactive, you know, and he needs to fight somebody. He has to get in that ring and do something, you know what I'm saying, with his career, you know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. But why do I say this? Because there are a lot of differing opinions when it comes to fighters, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people calling Teofimo a duck. I'm not necessarily saying that. I really don't say that about fighters, but I do understand this point. I do understand this. I've said it time and time again when it comes to Teofimo Lopez, that, you know, he has a couple great wins, you know what I'm saying? I'm not taking anything away from his victory, you know, over Comey. I think it was a great victory. I think it was an amazing, you know, impressive fashion knockout. Just a beautiful victory, man, as well as with Lomachenko. I don't care what people say, you know what I'm saying that, oh no, Lomachenko, this and that, you know, he was really fighting, I had a draw, blah, blah, blah. That's great, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't have it like that. I think Teofimo really beat Lomachenko in a nice fashion. It wasn't a blowout or anything like that, but I mean, he beat him well. You know, Lomachenko come out and cry all he wants, you know, and complain about the judges, complain about CompuBox, could talk about his shoulder, blah, blah, blah. I don't buy it, okay? So all due respect to Lomachenko, though, man. He's a great fighter. But, you know, so a lot of people have different opinions, and a lot of people call him a duck, you know, Teofimo Lopez a duck and stuff like that. But I understand. I've said it time and time again. I understand that Teofimo Lopez is, you know what I'm saying? He's taking a mandatory out. I get it, you know what I'm saying? Even though he probably had the option to go and, you know, fight Haney, because Haney is the actual WBC champ at 135. We cannot ignore that nor dispute it, I don't think. You know what I'm saying? Even though other platforms out there, like I said, there's all types of people in the community, in the boxing community. Everybody has their own mind. Everybody has their own perspective. And I speak my perspective, you know what I'm saying, in a respectable fashion. I'm not ignoring that Devin Haney's a champ, okay? I've said it time and time again on my platform here, and I say it in a level-headed fashion. I'm not biased at all. If you think this is bias and hate, get out of here. You don't have to be in this platform. You don't have to listen to me, okay? With all due respect, we don't got time for that, I repeat and I reiterate, but we cannot ignore the fact that Devin Haney has a WBC belt at 135. I totally disagree with, you know, Teofimo being undisputed because of that fact, what I just said a moment ago. So, you know, however, I'm not, you know, hating on, or I'm not, you know, whatever you want to call it, on Teofimo fighting Kambosos. I get it. It's a mandatory fight, you know, to defend that whatever belt it was, IBF, I think. I don't know. So many belts out there, and I can kind of care less about it nowadays, you know what I'm saying? But I do respect fighters who have those belts, you know. But you already know the story with the belts. I don't have to repeat myself so much over, you know, about that topic, but. So, you know, on Instagram, he was saying that, you know, soon, but I'm just going to say soon, because by the time you hear this, the announcement is probably going to come out, okay? So, but if you hear this now, by the time I post this video up, it's 3 days from now. So, you know, talking about he has some news for all those who call him a duck, and he's going to rub it in their faces, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's a big probability, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the reasons why I want to bring this video out. I don't really do breaking news and stuff like that, but it caught my attention. You know, there's a big possibility that Teofimo is going to announce some big fights, okay? It can be that after 135, there's a lot of speculation because it has come out of his own mouth. It has come out of Teofimo's mouth and his team saying that they want to jump up to 140 after the Kambosos, or maybe one fight left after Kambosos at 135, possibly Devin Haney or one of these big names. I mean big names because they're really skilled fighters. I can care less about famous popularity, stuff like that. I don't care about the popularity contest, but when I say big names, I'm talking about the tough competition at 135, Tank Davis, Devin Haney, etc., blah, blah, blah. You already know names. So that's what I refer to. So I think that there's two sides to look at it. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Teofimo and his own team has talked about after the Kambosos fight, they'll probably have another fight at 135. And after that fight at 135, he'll move up to 140 to fight the winner out of Taylor and Ramirez. You know the story. It's been said millions of times already. So, but I mean, I'm just saying this so we can understand where, where Teofimo is directing himself after the Kambosos fight. I personally think that, he should fight Devin Haney for that belt to really be undisputed. No contest there as far as, debatability or whatever you want to call it, right? Controversy. Go down, you beat Kambosos and go back and fight Devin Haney. But I don't think that's going to happen because in the same live, and he said it time and time again, his dad even said it. As a matter of fact, his dad responded to one of my videos on Devin Haney. If I'm not mistaken, it's called Undisputed or something like that when talking about Teofimo. And I think it was in that video, Teofimo Sr., responded in the comment section. I made a video, pushed the video about that comment that he made, saying that Devin Haney hasn't fought anybody at the top 10, and that's Teofimo Jr., the champ's perspective also. And this Instagram live, he talked about that too. He said, because obviously in the comment section, they're talking about Loma rematch, Devin Haney, when are you going to fight Haney, and blah, 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 right? Amongst a lot of other things that I can care less about what the chat was saying. But, he responded to that Haney remark or comment, whatever you want to call it, from the community. And he said, well, Haney has to fight someone in the top 10. I get that, but he has a belt. I mean, I don't think that's a way to go around it. Devin Haney has a belt. And you may say I'm kind of contradicting myself because I can care less about people with belts. But Haney, he's a skilled fighter. I mean, I think he's really worth fighting, okay? That's what I'm trying to get at here. And that's why I, believe, and I'm a strong believer that, Teofimo has to fight Devin Haney because Devin Haney has a belt, WBC belt, and to really prove who's really undisputed. That's the reason why, okay? And Haney is a worthy opponent to fight, okay, at 135. So, you know what I mean? But Teofimo is saying that Devin has to fight somebody in the top 10, okay? I get it. I get that's his. I respect his perspective, but I just don't agree with it. You know what I mean? I think he really should, after Kambosos, fight Haney. Then after that, do what you want, man. I mean, but so he's saying that. Getting back to that, he's saying that in the Instagram video, whatever, live. He said that in a few days he's gonna have an announcement or whatever. He's gonna bring stuff out, or I don't know. It's gonna come out in the open, in the public, to rub it in the face of those, those naysayers, I guess you can say. So I don't know, because in the Instagram live, I mean, I get it. He said it time and time again. He said it before too, not just in this Instagram live recently that I'm talking about, but he talked about, you guys got to be patient. Nobody wants to wait. You guys just want to pull it out of me, just this. And, I get that too from Teofimo. I'm not saying it. I don't, you know what I mean? I understand, but you got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, we have the OGs on here on the platform, for example, Bruce Goes, Kurt, and I get that perspective because, boxing, ladies and gentlemen, historically speaking, was more about, the best fighting the best, and Teofimo can't knock those people. That's what I'm saying. Fighters, generally speaking, cannot knock the community when they want to see the best fight the best out there, when they're pushing for the best fight and the best out there. Because that's what boxing has historically been about. You see what I'm saying? If you're knocking that, then you're knocking what, historically speaking, what the sport of boxing is known about, widely known about. You see what I mean? The Muhammad Ali fights and era, Sugar Ray Robinson, blah, blah, blah. You already know the names. Okay? So, I mean, you can't, as a fighter, knock that community. No, you don't know believe about boxing. You just want to see me fight all these guys. I mean, you see what I'm saying? That's quite inappropriate to say against the boxing community. Bud said the same thing. Oh, you fans don't know bleep about boxing, and you just want it. I mean, What do you mean we don't know bleep about boxing? We want to see the best fight the best out there, because traditionally speaking, historically speaking, boxing was widely known for that. I'm not saying it's the only thing boxing was known for, but it was widely known for that. You see what I'm saying? You can't knock the community that's pushing for, wanting to see you fight the best out there. I mean, it is what it is. I'm sorry, I gotta say it like that. You know what I'm saying? With all due respect, So, and then he was saying in the Instagram, going back to what I was saying, I don't think he's gonna fight Devin Haney after Kambosos now. Why? Because he's talking about he has to fight one of the top 10s, and by the time that happens, Teofimo is probably going to move up to 140. You see what I mean? But I'm pretty curious. I mean, I'm just curious to see what he exactly means. And forget about the Kambosos fight. I know it's not about that. It shouldn't be about that, at least. This news that he wants to rub in everybody's faces. I'm almost positive it's not about the Kambosos fight, because that's just all due respect to Kambosos, but that's not the fight we want to see. I mean, it's a fight. It's nice to watch. I'm sure it's going to be nice to watch, but it's not those big names that we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? That community's pushing for Teofimo to fight. All due respect to Teofimo, champ. I just said it in the beginning of the video, okay? As far as me not taking anything away from his recent victories, man, against Lomachenko and Comey. I mean, amazing wins. And I get it with the mandatory. I'm not against it, but I can care less. I mean, I'm not too interested about it, but it is what it is. He's handling his business. It's all good, And then and then he talked about, in the Instagram live. I mean, there's probably more. I just listened to a little bit and then I left, But he's talking about be patient. You guys got to be patient, and that he's making the business moves. I mean, that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Then he brought out the money thing that, these guys that you guys want me to fight, I'm paraphrasing, okay? These guys that you guys want me to fight aren't making, they're making 2.5 million tops, and when you take the taxes out and blah, 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 they're making like maybe $1 million. I mean, I can care less what these other fighters make, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't care, you know what I mean? I just, that's the thing. You see, that's what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of boxing community can care less with the money. The money these guys, that's great. You throw around your numbers, you're making millions. Amazing for you. Keep doing it. That's awesome, bro, And I'm a firm, it's kind of perplexing because there's a lot of angles to contemplate. On my lives, I would talk about, these fighters, they need to be taken care of. And I'm not, I understand that fighters are looking for the money. I mean, they want to take care of them and their future and their well-being and their future. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Teofimo's doing. He's making smart moves. And that's what he was kind of emphasizing in the live also, that, he's making just the right business moves, and who knows? That's like the question mark I have in my mind. Who knows if in those business moves he's making in his career, are they going to be against these names? I don't know, but he's still young, ladies and gentlemen. Also, that's another thing we got to talk about too. Excuse me. Teofimo is really young, so, and then again, back in the glory days of boxing or what have you, the golden era, those champs were young too, getting those belts and fighting tough competition at the same age that Teofimo's in, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see though. I mean, I think it's just a matter of time. I think Teofimo has a lot of great fights ahead of him, and opponents, but it's just hard to say right now in this generation that we're living in, and the moves that fighters make, you know what I'm saying? Generally speaking, the moves that fighters make, it's not necessarily favoring, what the community wants to see. And even these promoters, I mean, they can kind of care less what fans think nowadays. Isn't that sad? The same people who support the sport of boxing, monetarily speaking, and through their funds and paying for fights, promoters can kind of care less about that, it seems like. And it's a sad situation, but it is what it is. So I still got hopes up for Teofimo Lopez and fighting big names out there, these big names that we want to see. But at the same time, I kind of doubt it. I have a doubt, lingering over my head. Like, is he really going to come back and fight these guys? The Tank Davises, the Devin Haneys, Ryan Garcia, he still got... I don't know why Ryan Garcia is considered the quote-unquote Fabulous Four, Fantastic Four, whatever they're putting the titles on these guys, on Ryan Garcia. I just don't see him yet, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure about Ryan Garcia just yet, skill-wise. But Tank Davis and Devin Haney, man, you those are some tough champs right there, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the question mark I have in my head. Is he going to fight these guys? I'm not so sure about that, and there are going to be people who criticize any move a fighter makes. Like, for example, if Teofimo beats Kambosos, moves up to 140 and fights Taylor Ramirez winner, I mean, that's a great fight too, ladies and gentlemen. That is a great fight. Him taking on one of those champs, wow. I would love to see that. I'm not going to knock it. But at the same time, Tio is going to get his critics also. There's critics everywhere, ladies and gentlemen, and they're going to say like, oh, you didn't fight Devin. And I don't know. It's just a perplexing thing because I reiterate, I just said it earlier, and I've said it in this platform time and time again, that I would love to see Teofimo take Devin out, or, if that's the case. Or vice versa. Watch Devin Haney box out Tio. I mean, I would just love to see the fight. That's what I want to see. And to see who's really undisputed. It's sad that in this generation, it's really hard to see undisputed nowadays. It's a sad situation, but it is what it is. So I just wanted to elaborate, what Teofimo was saying on his Instagram live recently. And we'll see what happens. Only time will tell. So I reiterate, he's saying something about smearing something and some news in people's faces soon. These days to come. So we'll see what it's about. Renee Box Young, thanks so much for liking, subscribing, sharing. Go ahead and comment in the comment section. What do you think about this? What do you think the news is going to be? Maybe there are some people who know the ins about this. Who knows, right? But I want to hear what he has to say, in a few next couple days. And I hope it's not just about Kambosos, because I think most of the boxing community can agree that Kambosos, okay, but it's not big news really. I mean, we know it's a mandatory. Yeah, I mean, it's not really something that, generally speaking, the boxing community really wants to see. Kind of like Canelo Yildirim. It's like a fight that Canelo's a great fighter or whatever, but against Yildirim, people are like, you know what I'm saying? So I hope that this news isn't just about Kambosos. I mean, but I don't know. I just got a doubt over my head to see. What does Teofimo have in mind? What is he? Because all these points I'm talking about, what he talked about in his Instagram live, it makes me kind of think. It's like, only time will tell. So we see, man. I wish the best for the champ, and we'll see what happens, man. Comment in the comment section. Thanks so much. Again, I reiterate, Renee Box Young is a platform where we simply speak, discuss, critique, and analyze the sport of boxing in a level-headed fashion. Take the hate somewhere else. Take the bias somewhere else. We don't got time for that here. Renee Box Young, thank you so much, man. Go ahead and like, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for your support. Stay safe out there, fam. Peace out.